Hello everybody, welcome back here once again to the Brawl for All Pro Wrestling show, and we just got finished watching WWE Fastlane 2015, the last pay-per-view before Mania. I got Steven and Jeff here with me. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Well, what'd you guys think overall of the pay-per-view? I thought it was mediocre at best. This episode, we're going to be recording we are recording right after the pay-per-view, so therefore, we won't be talking about Raw in this episode. It'll just be Fastlane, and then a few notes that I had. So, yeah, the pay-per-view overall was almost like a glorified Raw.
Yeah.
I think Cena Rusev was the best match of the whole card, and that's kind of sad considering some of the talent that they had on here. I really think they told them to tone it down in this.
For
some,
matches,
to make so. Roman Reigns and Bryan seem bigger.
And that match wasn't bad, but
it wasn't.
I don't know.
No, it wasn't bad, but it definitely Reigns got booed out of the building, and I think he may be legitimately kind of hurt.
Yeah.
After that match, because he seemed like it. He's
so
really favoring that groin area.
Yeah, so many matches were bad.
But you guys want to get right in and talk about just each little thing. We had the Miz and Heyman segment. It was pretty funny.
It was entertaining.
They had Miz, giving Mizdow crap. That was kind of funny. They asked if Brock was going to be there and stuff, and kind of had you wondering there.
Yeah.
Not too big of a deal. That was the pre-show segment. And then they went into the possible new faction: Ryback, Rowan, and Harper against Big Show, Kane, and Rollins.
That was great.
Is there really anything that needs to be said?
It wasn't it. It was the Authority that picked up the win.
Yeah.
There is a possible idea for I have heard the rumor that possible idea for the Redneck Reppin' Crew or something like that. Ryback, Rowan, and Harper to start a faction of redneck guys.
Oh my god.
I hope this wasn't the beginning of it because they lost the first match.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you get.
But the big thing, the big thing I wanted to say though, besides the Redneck Reppin' Crew or whatever, is that Randy Orton made his return. So he RKO'd everybody but Rollins and ended up chasing them backstage out of the building. So
biggest pop of the night.
I thought that was great. Yeah, he got a great reaction. Do you think maybe they could be leaning towards maybe Orton coming in at Mania and ended up walking out with the belt?
He could end up...
Because he's obviously over more than Reigns.
Yeah.
So
it's an option.
I could see that a viable option to have Orton slip in there.
Do Randy Orton versus Rollins for the briefcase.
Who knows where they're gonna go after Bryan said that to him at the end.
Yeah.
Like, you better kick his ass.
It's you two in the match.
Could Reigns start doubting himself or something? Who knows? I don't know. But I think that the Orton return was cool, and I've been waiting for him to come back. And there had been rumors like what his status at Mania would be, like what were they going to do with him? Yeah. Another return, by the way, to talk about. Sheamus is going to be returning, and we never did talk about that. They didn't use him in the pay-per-view, but you guys see him maybe possibly returning tomorrow night?
Yeah. They could have aired a little vignette for him.
Which we will be doing another episode covering tomorrow night's Raw sometime this next week.
Yeah.
I think he definitely he should show up. But I'm interested to see. I heard he's going to come back as a heel. So their roles at Mania are kind of up in the air right now, but it's going to be interesting to see. I'm glad both those guys are coming back at this time.
It's up in the air.
They had the Goldust Stardust match. Stardust with his new attire. What did you guys think of that? I think it kind of suits him a little better to not look so much like Goldust.
I think it's the end of Stardust.
I think it is, though, because Goldust got the roll up for the pin.
Yeah, it's nearing the end of the story.
Dusty was there, made an appearance.
Yeah.
Looking old as usual.
He didn't really even say much. He was just
You don't
there.
need to be Stardust, baby. You don't need to be Stardust, baby. You Cody Rhodes, baby.
Cody back on his own.
It looks like that's what I think at Mania they're going to do Goldust Stardust. The stipulation, if Stardust loses, he has to go back to his old gimmick.
Yeah.
To his original self, Cody, not a gimmick.
I think he'll leave the gear he's got on now, probably.
Maybe to the most part, but not the Stardust. as far as that goes. But I like the gear
Stardust.
they have. Not the long
He wants
gloves.
fame.
I didn't like the long gloves.
Stardust for Hall of Fame.
Shorter gloves. Stardust for Hall of Fame. Okay, and then they had Usos and Kizarro, and I called it. I think Jeff called it. Did
Yeah.
you call it?
I said the Usos.
Okay, but Kizarro took the tag titles. I think that's cool, man. I think they needed to switch up. I think
They do, though, yeah.
Kid and Cesaro are a good tag team, but you would think for a match like that it'd have been a lot better than what it was. They really toned it down.
God, the whole pay-per-view is just, like you said, a
Beginning,
glorified
they
Raw.
Yeah, it
That's
did
all
seem
it
like a
was.
glorified Raw to me.
Like, did you guys watch a pay-per-view tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did, but it seemed like we watched Raw instead.
And they gave it a new name. Like, hopefully this is the end of Fastlane.
And
Yeah.
Natalia in her dominatrix gear.
Yeah.
Morgan watching
Man.
another Raw tomorrow night.
Right, Fastlane's gonna be like we're watching 2 Fastlanes in a row.
Yeah, Fastlane tomorrow night, guys. Don't
Yeah.
forget.
Kizarro, Usos, though Kizarro gets the titles. So, then they had Nikki defeat Paige. Jeff called that out. I thought Paige was gonna retain. Not really interested in that. Oh yeah, they had the Sting segment before that, which Sting and Triple H finally came face to face. Had a pretty damn good brawl. Sting whipped the bat out.
Got the bat out.
We did a live
Finally.
commentary on it, so if you want to check that out, go and check out our live commentary on the Sting Triple H confrontation. It was like the sledgehammer versus the bat. I know a lot of people have been disappointed that he doesn't have the bat, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad he's finally got that back in there. He needed that the whole time.
He's got the bat.
I knew as soon as I seen him on the Titantron, like, I could have swore when he came out I seen the bat dangling from his coat. So-
Like he was had something in his coat.
Yeah, I mean, go back and look. I swear you can see the bat.
I think it was.
But that was a really cool segment, and they finally did set up, without Sting saying a word, just pointing the bat to his throat and pointing up at the sign, set up the match for Mania, those two.
Didn't have to say anything.
Yep.
Good.
Then after that, they had the Nikki and Paige, so that's done. Ambrose versus Barrett. Ambrose was disqualified. It was a horrible match, I noted.
Yeah.
But
Stole the show.
Ambrose did steal the belt and walked out of it via Stone Cold style.
Right. It was pretty. I don't know.
It was
I
a
thought
real.
it could have been a lot better match.
It
but
could have been a way better match with those two. I thought it was a horrible match. I really did. It was boring.
Those two could do better than that.
Yeah, I think they need to really. Maybe they did it on purpose so their Mania match could mean a lot.
Yeah.
But it did continue the storyline because Ambrose stole the belt, so you know you're going to see that at Mania.
But there was just too many matches phoned in.
It seemed like
There
everything
was.
was done to set up matches at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
You had Rusev retain the title over Cena because he made him pass out to the Accolade. I think we all said that Cena was going to lose somehow, and that,
Humbled.
yeah, and then at
Camel clutch.
Mania, another rematch. It's going to be a rematch of Mania.
Yeah.
He's going to go and win the U.S. title and make himself and the title look more prestigious. And they continued with the old man veteran deal tonight, man. Like, would a younger John Cena would he have stayed down on that AA?
Yeah.
JBL said, and I heard, Cena reportedly, like I said, oh yeah, go back. We have commentary to the Cena Rusev match too, so go back and listen to that one, as well as the Sting and Triple H.
Nobody's kicked out of the A lately.
Yeah,
Everybody's fought has.
right. He acts like nobody's kicked out of the AA. Yeah, that move is not even a good move. I mean, in my
No, it's a
opinion.
fireman's carry.
Right.
Throwing them up in the air.
So he wins by pass out, so you know that's going to be another rematch. But
Yeah.
that was the match of the night. It was a hard-hitting, brutal match. I thought Cena did a good job as far as putting on a good match.
It was a pretty
Yeah,
decent
not his
match.
best match.
He outdid Reigns, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of these matches were 5-star, 4-star, not even close. They did phone it in. But then you come down to the main event, Reigns versus Bryan. Reigns gets the pin after recovering and getting the spear. Bryan definitely looks like he's out of the Mania picture for the title hunt, but you never know what's going to happen because at the end of the match he's told him that he better go to Mania and kick his ass, referring to Brock Lesnar. But after that match, I really do not see Reigns being able to carry the ball at Mania against Lesnar.
He sucks.
He's going to actually have to carry the match. which
He's
is
not
the
going to
crazy
take the
part.
belt. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why I see Orton somehow getting involved in this. Possible Sheamus, too.
I think they need somebody else to
Could you
spice that
imagine
match up.
Orton, Sheamus, Lesnar, and Reigns for a 4-way?
Yeah.
I don't know if they want to do a Triple A.
Reigns can
I don't know if they want to do another
probably
multiple
not.
man match since they did it
I
last year.
know,
but
yeah.
that seems like the only viable way to go because, man, the crowd was just
Reigns.
shitting on Reigns tonight.
Oh, yeah, he just...
His reaction was just people were just booing the crap out of him. I mean, they were in Memphis. That's a tough crowd.
Nobody's happy.
And the crowd did not seem happy at all. They just sat on their hands most of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, no one's happy.
So do you guys have any final comments on that? I mean, they pretty much set up Reigns versus Lesnar, Sting versus Triple H. Oh, yeah, we had the Bray Wyatt segment.
Right.
I think we might as well go ahead and just put up our commentary on that, too.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Since it was a segment like Triple H. But it was pretty important because he first appearance of any kind of Taker since last Mania.
Yeah.
He came out via Taker. We don't know where it's going to go, but it looks like the match has definitely been set up
Does this
between
pay-per-view...
Bray Wyatt and Taker.
Does this pay-per-view get you guys excited for WrestleMania?
Not really,
No.
but if you think about what's to come, I think it's going to be a decent Mania.
Are you worried that Mania will be bad?
I just want to see what they do with.
They have not put in
Reigns.
good
They gotta
trust.
change it up
I seriously
somehow.
think this Mania is as far as matches go, is going to be better than last. At least you got
Good.
Sting,
Sting
you
and
got
Triple H
Taker
will be
Wyatt,
good.
you got
Yeah.
Reigns, even Lesnar's appearing is always good.
Yeah.
Rollins looks like he's going to fight Orton, as we
Orton,
didn't
yeah.
mention.
That'd be good.
It looks like Mania is shaping up to be better than it was last year.
Yeah.
But it is going to be a lot of Fastlane rematch. They ought to call it
still
Rematch
don't.
of Mania because
Have the main event.
Fastlane.
I would not doubt if they put some kind of plug on it like, it's all
Reigns.
rematches. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's all rematches this year.
Reigns
But gonna be better.
Not be the main event.
They're going to be matches they've seen, but they're going to be better. They're going to be at Mania, damn it.
That's funny.
Man. Do you think they're setting up something with Jon Stewart to get involved at Mania here with the Rollins thing, by the way? So if everybody hasn't seen, go check out the Seth Rollins and Jon Stewart going back and forth about the comments that Rollins made on like last Raw, I think.
WWE just loves it. Someone else
Yeah.
from the outside is getting involved.
I do have some other I do have some other notes, and I'm just gonna say right now that NXT is the best show going right now.
It is,
Yeah.
definitely.
Rhino made a shocking return. I thought that was cool to see Rhino back.
Rhyno.
Solomon Crow finally made his debut after like a year and a half.
Yeah.
The hacker gimmick. If you haven't seen Solomon Crow,
haven't.
he's cool. He came in and took down CJ Parker.
That is funny.
It was a heck of
NXT,
a heck of an NXT to follow up the takeover that they had.
yeah.
So Rhino is
Owens
back,
and
and
Neville was good.
this Wednesday, spoiler alert, but somebody else that you're familiar with is going to show up on NXT. I don't know if you guys want me to say who it is or not, but
Yeah, I mean, you might as well.
might as well. But it's the Brian Kendrick.
That's not surprising. He
They-
hadn't had a job for about 2 years.
Yeah,
now, has he?
he's going to be back Wednesday too with NXT.
Can't wait to
So
see
they're
what
starting to
kind of
bring
gimmick
some
he's got.
veterans, and yeah, will they bring him back with the Brian Kendrick gimmick? or
Can't
will
believe
he-
they're bringing him back because of how he left.
Yeah, he's a big.
I mean, he left like pretty bad.
he's a big marijuana advocate.
I mean, he was whatever. He was trying to get suspended. There
Yeah,
was-
he was smoking and
care.
literally
He's
felling the
he was
piss
smoking
out.
cigarettes in the backstage.
No,
when-
weed.
Well, he was smoking cigarettes in the backstage.
Mhm. Well, he
in
was
areas
let-
where you can't smoke,
he
and
was-
they're like, "You gotta go."
I had heard that he was paying the fine up front to fell for weed.
Yeah, he was doing that, but then when he was at tapings, he was smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
When he should be outside, he wouldn't go
Well,
outside.
he's grown up now, so maybe he was always a hell of a wrestler, and I thought
Yeah.
that character was good when he did the Brian Kendrick with Zeke.
I liked it, but they just didn't
he
do
just,
anything.
He wasn't viable enough to be big enough to beat anybody, but now
Mhm.
with like Daniel Bryan around, I mean, he could be
Yeah.
Yeah.
get a little bit more ball on. He's a hell of a wrestler.
I'm glad he finally ditched the shorts in the tag team he had.
Yeah, I
That
don't
was a
know.
bad
I wonder
look.
what he's going to look like when he's back.
What's Paul Kendrick or Paul London doing?
I mean, I'm interested to see that, even though I know he's going to be on there.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, longtime veteran Kid Cash announces his retirement.
About time.
Were you guys ever a Kid Cash fan?
No.
He's ECW days when he looked
ECW.
like Kid Rock and everything. But I mean, you know how wrestlers announce their retirements all the time. I can see him 2 years down the road wrestling again
Yeah.
at a freaking ECW reunion for the
Yeah.
25th time. But Kid Cash makes his announces retirement, so
Getting
good
up
luck
there.
to you. Samoa Joe done with TNA. He said he'd been combing
believe
through
that.
offers, and I heard the WWE is interested in signing Samoa Joe. What's your guys' opinion on that?
I think NXT.
I think NXT could really benefit from getting a guy like Samoa Joe in there. I mean, if they're going to sign a guy like Kevin Owens, why not take a shot on Samoa Joe, AJ, some of these guys?
What's AJ doing?
AJ's working in Japan. He's got the IWGP title right now, so he's making a living over there in Japan, doing pretty good for himself, really. But he needs to get back on mainstream TV.
Joe wants to go.
They've never did offer AJ any kind of contract,
No.
but I heard Triple H is interested in giving Joe a contract. Vince, not so much.
He probably looks back at that first match that Joe had in
Triple H
WWE.
get him in NXT.
He doesn't have the look that they really like, but now with Kevin Owens getting over, I think they're like, maybe guys like that are over again.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be jacked up,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
you know? I don't think we ever mentioned that Brock was said to be possibly staying put now and not going to the UFC after Mania, so that kind of makes it interesting. He could actually hold the title against Reigns now.
Yeah.
Maybe that may be a
That
reason
could.
that Reigns won,
Yeah.
because they're like, he doesn't have to win the match. But that's going to make Reigns look bad, so I don't know if that's a good decision either.
What are they doing?
So
That's
what
the
do you
question.
guys...
Better look make Brock look good than Reigns bad. Than
Do
the
you
other way
guys
around.
do you guys think Brock's going to stay?
I think he'll stay.
He's got a sweet deal. I don't know why he would go
Well,
get
He'll
beat around.
stay.
If he really wants to fight, but I don't know.
They're gonna do. Yeah, we already knew they were gonna do Goldust, Stardust at Mania probably, and Goldust is winding down his career, and they want to put him into a backstage producer role off TV when he's done. So I just wanted to mention that for a little note. The Orton status is weird though right now. Like, he came back last night.
Yeah.
But I had read that he like was pulled from all the ads through Mania, and then he was advertised for live events on the road to WrestleMania.
Okay.
But then they pulled him for the ads for the overseas tour right after Mania.
It's weird.
So,
Yeah.
but they have him on there tonight. So it's like,
What are
what
they
is
doing?
going on with Orton with this booking schedule? Unless it's just all jacked up,
What are they doing?
and they're gonna change everything around.
I don't even know if they know what they're doing half the time.
I mean, and I mean.
It's just strange.
So what do you guys think with overall? I mean,
Not the most anticipating WrestleMania that I can remember.
that's what I'm saying with the way Mania is shaping up and all these rumors. I mean, I think it's more anticipated than last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a little more time to put the story.
I don't like last year how they just threw Batista in there.
They rushed a lot of stuff last
They
year. too.
did. Yeah.
At the last minute. Seemed like the last week or two was their. At least they got a little. Seems like a little bit more time for the matches they put together so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have much else to talk about.
I know there really wasn't much to talk about.
It was a mediocre pay-per-view. Those are the notes that I've
Yeah.
had down. Yeah, check out NXT if you haven't. I'm telling you, it's the best thing going, guys.
Yeah.
As far as in-ring action, I used to think Ring of Honor, but I think they've took a back seat to NXT has really took over any kind of.
Ring
I
of
think they're
Honor.
going to kill off TNA
NXT
Yeah.
will.
because
yeah.
you're gonna have guys going to TNA that would have went to TNA are going to go to NXT now.
Mhm.
And Ring of Honor is struggling too.
Right, especially when you got guys like Rhyno and Kendrick coming in. And Ring of Honor, right? Yeah, they're
I know.
struggling.
I know NXT's getting a lot
I mean,
more
anything that-
exposure now too. So
Yeah.
How about Lucha Underground? You guys check any of that
I've
out?
never watched.
We
it.
do have Alberto El Patron debuting in Lucha Underground, I must mention. And he had made appearances on Ring of Honor, too.
I like him. I just think WWE.
El Patron could help out TNA, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's going to stick with Lucha
I think he was even pretty smart and just was like, you know what, I'm not going to TNA.
Looks like he's going to stick with Lucha Underground for now, though. But that's about all I got to say, guys. We'll be back with episode 15 on next week's Raw and anything else that's going on that we find out. I want to thank everybody for listening and tuning in. It was a pretty quick episode.
Yeah.
You guys got anything to say before I check it out?
No.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for all the likes and the feedback that we get. Actually, my friend Jason Williamson, who is a former independent wrestler, wants to come on the show with us sometime via Skype here in a few weeks and give his views on some Mania predictions and stuff like that.
Cool.
I think that'll be cool, and a shout out to Jason for always listening and being a good fan. Remember to share with your friends, everybody, and give us comments. Any questions you got, leave them on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you find us at, and show some support. So we thank everybody for listening, and I'm going to say peace out.
Yep.
Peace.
All right, till next time, guys.